Okay, now let's watch foreign foods that were banned in the U.S. Little switcheroo. Little switcheroo on you guys. Yeah, that's right.
The obvious, Americans love food. And in the U.S., you can buy anything imaginable at restaurants, farms, markets, and other stores. Well, almost anything. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has banned many foods from being sold or eaten in the United States for various reasons.
What, like being too healthy?
Today, we're going to take a look at...
Oh, I mean, that one's a classic because, like, kids die, right? Because they put the whole thing in their mouths and then they choke on the toys.
Some foreign foods that are not allowed in the USA. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the Weird History Food channel. After that, please leave a comment and let us know what other funky food topics you would like to hear about. Now, let's take an illicit trip on the wild side of food.
Wait, haggis is banned?
Scotland is known for a number of wonderful things, like Scotch whiskey, bagpipes, and Sean Connery. But it's also known for eating haggis.
Haggis? What is haggis?
Haggis, for those who don't know, is a type of pudding composed of the liver, heart, and lungs of a sheep, mixed with beef and oatmeal, then seasoned with onions, cayenne peppers, and other spices. This mixture is then packed into a sheep's stomach and boiled.
How revolting!
This might not sound appetizing to everyone, but Scottish people are really into it. In fact, haggis is the national dish of Scotland, and if you get it there, it's usually accompanied by turnips and mashed potatoes.
I'd eat it. Americans would be like, ew, gross, and then they don't even realize, like, what do you think sausage is, my man? They'll say, ew, haggis is gross, and then they go and eat a fucking dirty water hot dog.
Potatoes. Americans who like haggis, however, are out of luck because haggis is currently banned from being imported into the United States. The U.S. banned all foods that are made from animal lungs in 1971. Since then, Scotland has made several efforts to influence the U.S. into lifting the ban on haggis and changing federal food safety regulations, but they've come up short each time. Too
That's
bad
pretty
Sean
funny.
Connery isn't around to ask them. Sometimes the U.S. bans foods for health concerns about the dish itself, but there are other reasons John Q. Law might stop you from enjoying a particular meal. For example, to protect an endangered species. Such is the case with beluga caviar.
Okay, but like this literally exists in the U.S. Like this makes no sense. Like I've seen this food actually, like you can get beluga caviar in the United States of America.
Caviar is, of course, fish eggs. Beluga caviar comes from the beluga sturgeon, which is the largest of the sturgeons, weighing more than 2,000 pounds and measuring more than 15 feet long. It can take up to 25 years for the female beluga to mature and produce eggs. Beluga caviar varies in color from light to dark gray and is the largest grain caviar. Their pearls are the most delicate and have a mild, buttery flavor. In 2005, however, the United States banned beluga caviar from further import due to overfishing. The U.S. was consuming about 60% of the world's beluga caviar, which is considered the Rolls-Royce of caviar due to costing $200 per ounce. In fact, beluga caviar was so desirable that the available stock declined by 90%. Overfishing of the beluga can mostly be traced back to poaching in the black market, but that's just academic now. The bottom line is, no beluga caviar for Americans anymore. So as we've seen, the U.S. might ban a food for being unsafe, or because it derives from a species at risk. But there's yet another reason a food might be banned: trading concerns. Take the Mirabelle plum, which is the small, oval-shaped and dark yellow fruit grown on the Mirabelle plum tree. It's sweet and full of flavor, and is used in fruit preserves and dessert pies. The fruit can mostly be found in France, where 70% of the world's Mirabelle production occurs. The production of the Mirabelle plum has been supported since 1996 by a protected geographical indication to help guarantee its authenticity. The protected origin designation makes it illegal to import or commercially sell the plums in the U.S. That being said, regular folks can grow them on their own property, as long as you don't try to sell them. Unpasteurized milk, or raw milk, is milk that comes directly from an animal's udder and hasn't been heat-treated or pasteurized to kill any bacteria. Sounds great, right?
Oh, indeed it does.
Well, it may not be. Raw milk carries a higher risk of being contaminated with harmful bacteria that causes foodborne illnesses than pasteurized milk does. Children, in particular, are at a higher risk for these diseases because their immune systems have not yet fully developed. The FDA banned the interstate sale or distribution of raw milk in the U.S., but states are able to adopt their own laws of the sale of raw milk. Given the risk, you might think that states would want to stop people from drinking the stuff, but not so much. In fact, drinking and consuming unpasteurized milk is 100% legal in all 50 states. That being said, only 13 states allow the sale of raw milk in retail stores. Of the other 37, 20 states prohibit the sale of raw milk, and 17 states allow the sale of raw milk on the farm in which it was produced. And at the very least, many of the states that allow the selling of raw milk require a warning label informing consumers about the risk of pathogens that can be found in the milk. There is currently something of a movement in the United States to consume organic and locally grown foods. Some believe that raw milk is more nutritious and provides good bacteria for the body. Sassafras oil is extracted from the dried root bark of the sassafras tree. The tree, in case you want to go looking for one, stands anywhere from 20 to 40 feet tall, with slender branches and orange and brown colored bark. The leaves are oval and can grow to 3 to 7 inches long, and the flowers are small and of a greenish or yellow color. Historically speaking, sassafras has played a big role in various cultures around the world. For example, many Native American
You were trying to self-report. You were trying not to self-report all the caviar you get on the reg amount. Bitch, I don't even eat seafood. What the fuck do you mean? Every time I've ever fucking had caviar, I've talked about it on stream. Dumb as fuck. It literally tastes like it tastes like salt. Anytime I've ever talked about caviar on this broadcast, it's been me making a joke about how like rich people are silly for eating caviar and thinking that it's awesome. We all know that's a cover. Yeah, secretly I'm eating so much seafood, especially caviar. Shadows are just making shit up. It's super easy to get beluga caviar in the US anywhere. It's everywhere. Yeah, I don't think beluga caviar is... The good caviar should taste like salt debate is always reignited. Yeah.
tribes use it for various medicinal purposes, including to help with acne, urinary disorders, and fevers. It can also be found in Chinese medications to help treat rheumatism and trauma. The twigs from the plant were once used as toothbrushes, and sassafras was also used as an early anesthetic and disinfectant. Not only that, but sassafras was found in many distinct foods in the US, and it was known as a key ingredient in many root beers and teas. Sounds pretty useful, right? Well, don't start celebrating just yet. The FDA prohibits all sassafras bark, oil, and saffrole as flavorings or food additives.
Why?
Sassafras is no longer considered safe for human consumption.
Why?
It was actually banned all the way back in 1979 after research linked it to cancer. Also, when too much sassafras oil is consumed, poisoning could possibly occur. The ortolan is a small, colorful bird in the bunting family, a category that also includes American tree sparrows. Once upon a time, in a faraway land called France, the ortolan was a chief ingredient in a highly controversial meal. The recipe called for...
I'm sorry, but it's pretty funny that, like, Mountain Dew is still allowed to sell fucking brominated vegetable oil Mountain Dew by just simply slapping on old school as a tag on it. But, like, they're like, sassafras is a big no-no. Because you can synthesize MDA from it. Not MDMA, but similar.
For the bird to be cooked for 8 minutes and served with a head attached. The bird was then meant to be eaten whole, including the head and bones. Due to its rarity, the killing and selling of the ortolan was banned in France in the 1990s. But that didn't stop poachers who continued to catch the small bunting and sell it to local restaurants. In fact, the law was so inconsequential that France's League for the Protection of Birds claimed that the ortolan population dropped 30% even after the ban was enacted.
France's League for Defending Birds is like working overtime and failing double the amount. They still have foie gras, no? They can't even protect the fucking ducks. The French want to eat birds no matter what. You're not going to stop them. Bird law activists in France doing the most and not getting anything in return.
This forced the government to enact more stringent enforcement in 2007. But the killing of the rare bird is less controversial than the barbaric way in which it is killed. It starts with the birds being trapped during their migratory season and kept in covered cages. Since the ortolan eats more at night, covering the cages cruelly tricks them into gorging on grain, even to the point where their bodies double in size. This is a less gruesome variation on an alleged ancient practice in which the bird's eyes would be plucked out, fooling them into thinking it was night so that they would eat more. Either way, once the ortolans are fattened up, they're thrown, still alive mind you, into a vat of Armagnac, which both drowns and marinates them. France now strictly enforces the ban on killing ortolans. In fact, the killing, cooking, or smuggling of the bird anywhere in the European Union or the United States is currently a crime. Kazumarzu, translated into English, means rotten cheese. And if that doesn't sound horrible enough to you already, then allow us to point out that it's also known as maggot cheese. Now you're probably thinking something like, okay, it has a disgusting name, but it's just a name, right? Well, this Sardinian cheese is typically soaked in brine, smoked, and then left to ripen in a cheese cellar. So far, so good. But then cheesemakers set it outside, uncovered, allowing cheesing flies to lay eggs inside it. The eggs hatch into maggots, which start feeding on the cheese. The maggots produce enzymes that promote fermentation and cause fats within the cheese to decompose. The cheese becomes super soft and leaves a burn on the tongue when eaten. Local Sardinians say the cheese is only good when the maggots are still moving. If the maggots are dead, then the cheese has gone bad and is too toxic for consumption. Kazumarzu is not in compliance.
Bro, nah. America, rare America W. Nah, don't care how good it tastes. And I love me some stinky ass cheese, you know what I mean? Like, I like blue cheese, you know, that's fucking moldy ass cheese. This is where I draw the line. I don't want living maggots in it, man. Extremely rare FDA W, dude. What the fuck? There's a fucking line and I drew it. It's better for your health than half of your food. Man, shut up, bitch. The one Sardinian in the chat. It's better for your health than all of your other food. Fuck you. How about that? Yeah, you keep fucking being healthy then. Okay? You keep being healthy eating maggots, dog. What the hell? One Sardinian.
Compliance with European Union hygienic standards. Movies like 1975's Jaws make it seem like humans have a lot to fear from sharks. But in reality, the reverse is far more true. In fact, finning, the act of cutting off a shark's fin, is one of the greatest threats that sharks face. It's so dangerous because after...
I'm conflicted by this because, like, on the one hand, I know it's devastating for the environment, the ecosystem, and everything, right? But on the other hand, sharks terrify me. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's like, yeah, fuck those sharks. You know what I mean? They'd fucking bite my ass if I was in the water. Like, that's how I feel. I'm just being honest. Don't get mad at me. I know it's wrong to feel this way. But, like, sharks are very scary, dude.
After a shark is finned, it's thrown back in the sea where it may drown, bleed to death, or be eaten by other animals.
Wait, what
Fortunately,
the fuck?
for those who want to protect the sharks, there is still a large market for shark fins to make shark fin soup, which is a popular and luxurious Asian dish. Shark fins are very popular in Asia and can be found in food stores, pharmacies, and fishing villages. The demand for shark fins has led to sharks being targeted solely for their fins. But don't expect to try that soup in the US anytime soon. The practice of finning is illegal in the United States.
I'm just saying, did you try shark fin in Japan? No. Dude, I don't eat seafood. Why would I? Yeah, I don't eat seafood, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to go and have shark fin soup next to all the beluga caviar I'm consuming. just a big fuck you to the water critters. You know what I mean?
Ackee appears to be a very delightful and delicious fruit, but appearances can be deceiving. For if the ackee isn't properly eaten, it can cause vomiting or even lead to a coma or death. To do it right, you need to know that the ackee's fruit's protective pod turns red and naturally opens, revealing the edible portion, which is the many yellow aril that surround the toxic black seeds. The ackee fruit is originally native to West Africa, but
it's like, nah, I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm not that crazy to eat this fucking fruit, you know? It's like that one fish that they make in Japan where, like, if you don't, what is it, like the puffer fish or whatever? Like, if you don't cut it perfectly, you just die. Fugu. Yeah, I'm good. Like, I'm good. I'm so good. You know what I mean? I'm super good. Like, there's no planet in which it's worth it to take a risk like this. You can say the exact same thing about cashews. Wait, what? Shut the fuck up. What did you say about cashews? Wait, what? Can you? Wait, stop. Okay, Mr. Chlorine Bath Chicken. Yo, I didn't. What's up with cashews? Cashews have to be cooked or they're poisonous? Wait. Bro, I've actually never seen a raw cashew. I always thought they just like. Wait, yes, I have. Wait, what the fuck? Here you go. These are raw cashews. Isn't this a raw cashew? There you go. Wait, what the fuck? Yo! This is what the cashew looks like on a tree? What the fuck? Raw cashews are not what you'd expect. Ew. That's kind of weird. I am 31 and I also just learned this recently. Wait, what? Cashews are fruit? Not nuts? Yo, that's weird as hell. All fruits are nuts? Wait, what? Farm fresh cashew and nuts, fruits cutting and eating in my village. But why is there just a toe in there? Oh! What the fuck? The beeping in the background is killing me. The cashews are technically a fruit because the delay it takes them to maturity, just like the delay in the top of the hour ad break. Can't eat a lot of apple seeds because of cyanide poisoning. Yo, this is like actually kind of making me feel good about my whole like I don't like to eat any fruit agenda. So many things are poisonous, it turns out. But at least I don't eat any fruit, you know what I mean? Oh, by the way, here's the Thurman outbreak now.
Was brought to Jamaica in 1778. In Jamaica, the harmful effects of ackee fruit are known as Jamaican vomiting sickness, and they're comfortable
Read my
enough
last
with it to
message,
have made it
scientific
Jamaica's
info.
national fruit.
That looks like Harvey Weinstein's penis by the court description. No, Jeffrey Epstein. Wasn't Jeffrey Epstein's like egg-shaped? I've seen a drawing.
The fruit can be tried in Jamaica paired with codfish, which is a popular dish. In the U.S., however, the FDA banned all ackee, though they later allowed the sale of frozen or canned ackee. The import of fresh ackee is still banned. The Kinder Surprise Egg is a hollow chocolate egg that holds a plastic capsule that contains a toy. The toy is usually a simple collectible, like a tiny bike or miniature beach bucket and pail. They are widely popular and are sold across the world, except in the United States. Not that it's hurting them any. In fact, even without the help from U.S. markets, Kinder sells more than 3.5 billion surprise eggs each year. Kinder Surprise Eggs have always been illegal in the United States. The 1938 regulation made it illegal to sell any candy that contains a non-nutritive object. Several efforts have been made to import the chocolate egg into the U.S., but the federal government has continued its ban and recalled the item each time.
This is so funny because, like, I grew up with Kinder Surprise Eggs and turkey, and I had no fucking idea that you can't have it out here.
Luckily for U.S. consumers, Kinder also makes the Joy Egg, which is a more recent version that separates the toy from the chocolate in two sealed halves. The Joy Egg meets FDA regulations and is compliant with the Consumer Product Safety Commission. It's not exactly the same as the Kinder Surprise, but it's close enough so the fans across the U.S. can get their fix. So what do you think? What banned food sounds good to you? Let us know in the comments below, and while you're at it, check out some of these other videos from our weird history.
I find it really weird. Yeah, this is like TOS, I feel like. I watched this already. A chatter pointed this out, but like America will not ban guns, but they will ban Kinder Surprise Eggs, which is weird. Because like I don't know how many kids would die to like choking from eating a Kinder Surprise Egg, but we know that like guns are the #1 killer of kids up until the age of 18.